right, so you guys have been watching me basically jump into the GC project. We've been focused for the most part on this build so far, basically in the interior, chassis with the cage and everything, which still needs a little love. If you've seen the seat bracket video, we need to move some things around, but you know, until then, basically the kind of theme of this build is to really do as much as I can at this moment, as cheaply as I possibly can, to kind of keep it going. There's a lot of things I can do because I have a lot of things planned for this thing. As you saw in the beginning of the video, doing some measurements, things like that. You saw me kind of go over what we have here with the EJ and the 5-speed out of a WRX, even though we will be using a 6-speed. It's just, you know, we don't need it yet. There's only a slight difference in the mounting height of the 5-speed compared to the 6-speed, so really not too worried about it right now. But so time to kind of pull the sheet, if you will, off of what the big thing is that's going to really set this Subaru GC build apart, this GC coupe. Now, there was a car, I don't know a million details on it, but there was a rally car built. I believe it was back in the 90s, and it was actually a little bit different than pretty much everything else Subaru has done previous and since. So it didn't work for their particular application. I think it was kind of cool and different, and that's really what we're doing here. So the focus on this car is going to be autocross. We are going to be doing some things as far as like the track. I've got Waterford Hills in Michigan right by me. So we'll be doing some track racing, nothing more than a track day, I don't think. I don't really plan for it, at least. But what we're gonna do different on this car, and it's gonna be a real test for us, is we are actually going to be placing this engine, this trans in the car. But if you can guess, we're gonna be going from the opposite end. So what we're going to be doing is we're gonna be doing a mid-engine 2-door GC coupe. Again, not something I've seen done before. I've seen some other guys and some other channels do some things. There's a guy I watch who did a CRX swap. If you're familiar with Factory 5, the 818, basically they use a very similar powertrain. They basically take off the back half of the center differential, which is basically what this section of the trans is. They lock that up, and that ends up sitting right back, you know, probably right about here. I've done a lot of measuring, and basically what's going to happen is everything's going to sit in the back. It's going to sit behind the cage, in between my rear bars here. Lots of other stuff going to be going in here as well, obviously. I've got some really creative ideas about cooling, intercooler stuff. Obviously, fuel tank is going to fit back here. That's why we pulled the fuel tank out, making some room. And obviously, that'll probably go up front, but lots of planning to do. But that's it. That's kind of the big reveal, if you will. So in this next video, what we're going to be actually doing is we're going to be cutting it up. I'm pretty nervous for it. It's not something I have done before, not to this extent. So we're basically going to be cutting out the rear portion of the car down the center. We're going to be basically cutting out the center sheet metal. There is kind of what you would call like a subframe or frame rail in the rear of these cars. So we're probably going to kind of trace that up and then make some room to try to see how this all fits in here. I got the cherry picker here, and you know, we're gonna go for it. So, and again, the welder is down right now, so if any welding companies out there want to help a guy out and help me get my project going, MIG, TIG, I don't care what it is. I will use it and make it work. But I'm really excited. I've got lots of steel up here that is going to be ready to be used on this project. I don't have a tube bender, but I am pretty amped to get this going. Got a lot of different ideas, a lot of things I have to figure out along the way, but I'm just really stoked to get started. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Big reveal. I wanted to kind of keep it a secret as long as I could because YouTube is kind of a crazy place. You know, somebody will get the idea and hear it, and they've got lots more money than I do to get it basically done and knocked out within probably a couple months, when this will probably take me a good amount of time to get this done. So but yeah, like, subscribe. GC mid-engine. I don't have any nicknames for it or anything yet, but I'm really pumped. Mid-engine, right-hand drive, GC coupe. It's pretty nuts. So I'm excited. It's going to be very, very different. But yeah, if you like anything like this, maybe you've done something, please share it with me. I'd love to see it. But yeah, follow along, watch me learn as I go, and I'm really excited to share this with everybody as I kind of figure it out. And yeah, so like, subscribe, share. Appreciate your time. I hope you all tag along and watch me as I fumble along the way, but we're gonna figure out. It's gonna be really cool. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Till then, see you later.